Rich, what's the best way to get in contact with you via social media?
Social media, Twitter is probably the best way now, so it is Richie_V, that is Richie V_NY, RICHIEV_NY. That's me. You can throw me a shout on Facebook if you want, The Real Richie V, or you can even send me a Gmail, richiev@gmail.com. That's me.
Got you. Rich, thanks so much for coming through, and you know we're going to be in touch.
Oh, absolutely. Ted, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. And I'll be looking forward to sit back and listen to your next guest, too.
All right. Thanks again. And that was Richie V discussing the state of streaming media. We talked about the Chromecast versus the Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, and the first steps on how to cut the cord. Next up, we're going to have a personal friend of mine. And they're all personal friends, but this one is holds deep and dear to my heart. We're going to have a quick break, and we're going to come back with none other than the original Bucko Bruce. And we're back. There's not much I can introduce when I say the original Bucko Bruce 83 is in the building right now. You might know him on Facebook as Kevin Grigsby. I know him solely as Bucko Bruce. He tells it like it is. He's going to tell us about the state of the NFL. He's going to give us his picks for NFL Championship Sunday, but a lot of folks were Bucko Bruce is never ineligible. He's always eligible. And that's our shout-out to the Ravens and the Patriots and Belichick. Bucko, what's going on?
Hey, man. It's a lovely day, man. It's always good to sit down with one of the greats, Mr. Ted.
Oh, man.
How are you tonight, sir?
Pretty good. Let's get through some business first before we talk about some football. How's you and the family doing? The missus is doing? How's she coming along?
Oh, man, we're almost there. For 49 more expected days until the third member of the Bucko family arrives. We're still hoping and praying the doctors were wrong and missed that third leg, but it's looking like a foregone conclusion. I'll have my third daughter, so. Just crossing fingers and praying and hoping for a healthy, happy little girl. Well, that's all I can do.
That's it. That's all we can. That's all we can hope and pray for. That a healthy, happy baby. So happy for you and the missus and
thank you.
The big sisters. The big sisters that are going to be watching over their little sisters. So with that, Bucko, it was a great divisional weekend. There were a couple of plays that everyone is continuously talking about. People were talking in Dallas. People were talking in Green Bay about the catch that wasn't the catch. You had NFL, the officials, their leadership. Everyone has jumped in to say, and I'm going to ask you this, yes or no, was it or was it not a catch?
Well, was it a catch? By my eyes, by my opinion, yes. But by the letter of the rule, by the exact stating of what a completed catch in the act of falling is, no. It's the same situation of what Calvin did and several other players have made. If you are in an act of falling to the ground, that is in no way a football move. You're falling down. Whether you reach your arms, whether you do YMCA in the act of falling down, that's not a football move. So, no, technically it was not a catch. But I think that rule is garbage. I think that was a catch, and that rule should not exist. But who am I? I'm just a
guy. Bucko, I think when the competition committee meets, is it safe to say that rule is going to go bye-bye or it's going to get readdressed? Because on the biggest stage, on a Sunday, when a team is turned away from the championship because of one play, and that's where I'm caught up is people are saying, oh, it's based on that one play. No, it isn't.
It's not. It's not. Because, A, they weren't able to stop Aaron Rodgers in the second half anyway, and there was still 1 minute and 50 seconds left. They could have very easily went down there and got the game-winning field goal without a problem. Okay, so that doesn't guarantee they would have won that game. So let's not base it off on one play. And if you're going to live by the flag, you're going to die by the flag. Okay, just a week ago, they loved the refs, and now they want to crucify every one of them. Well, while I feel at the moment the officiating is probably at its worst ever, you would think with technology and having differences of opinion and expert officials on the sideline to help those officials as well, you have every avenue of getting it right at your disposal. Yet, more so than ever, they're getting it wrong, and they're scrutinized heavily. And, you know, my least favorite person in this world, Roger Goodell, is going to do nothing about it. Nothing will change. It will continue to be this bad.
Bucko, we're going to switch really quick to the coaching carousel. Between Tom Sula going to the Niners, Del Rio going to the Raiders, you got my favorite, Rex Ryan, staying in the AFC East. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. You got. I know you were disgusted to see that. I was overjoyed. I was overjoyed. So thankful that Arthur Blank and the Falcons are just clueless and just totally dumb when it comes to football operations, because they sat with that man for 5 hours and let him leave the building without a contract, and I'm ever so grateful they did that. I feel bad for you that you still have to see him twice a year, and he's going to destroy you as long as Donatello Smith is your quarterback.
Bucko, I got to ask you and say, okay, within the next 12 months, he's either going to be Todd Toilet Bowls or Todd Super Bowls. What would be your choice?
This season, with an almost archaic Chan Gailey calling plays, who hasn't done anything productive at this level since I was a child, maybe, and with really a limited amount of talent offensively. I know the defense is going to be good. That's never a concern in New York. It's the offense, and they're not really moving the meter for me and probably for you either. So I'm going to say for 2015 and 2016, I'm going to go with the toilet. But he has super ability. He's a great leader of men, a great innovator on defense. I think if you get him the right pieces, and Chan Gailey can dial up some plays, if you get some talent, some pieces, you'll be fine.
You know what troubles me as a Jets fan, and I don't want to harp on the Jets folks, but I'm going to say the last time they were a top 10 offense was 1998. That was the year Google was founded. That was 1998 was the last time they were in the top 10. I mean, I just feel like they just get a carbon copy, Bucko, of these coaches, defensive coaches. Why is it so hard not to not pick an offensive coach?
Well, look at the league, Ted. Look at the vacancies that have been filled. Every coaching hire that has been made so far has been of a defensive ilk. Because, look at Seattle. There's a copycat league, man. Seattle has taken this league by storm. They, I believe, are the first team since the Patriots to win a Super Bowl and then turn around and be a number one seed in their conference the next year. That's almost unheard of this year, or in this age, excuse me. So what they're going to do is fortify a defense and hope to get lucky and get a third-round gem like a Russell Wilson or something to that effect. The offensive-minded coach is all fun and well. If you pay too much emphasis to one side of the ball, it's always better to be defensive-minded because you can win some games 10-13. You can't win too many 40-38 games. So I'm going to go that way.
I think during our barbershop days, I used to reference Eric Coryell, with Dan Fouts, with these 45 to 42 games, and you're like, I kind of just go back and I think, I'm like, oh, hey, that was a great, exciting game, but you can't win a Super Bowl that way.
Yeah, and you as a fan would have a heart attack every week Or am I going to score enough points? Well, I mean, you probably do now. But either way, no, I like Todd Bowles. I think he has a lot of upside. I'm glad he finally got a look. He's been overlooked and interviewed for damn near a decade now. It's good to see him get a shot, and I think that he is what you need. Woody and Rex as a team seem more media whorish to me versus in the business of winning football games. And now you got a soft-spoken but carry a big stick guy who's about playing games on the field and winning football games. I think it's a good move for you to go in the opposite direction, but keep the same principle, if that makes any sense.
I got one other question before we get to the picks, and I'm going to say, Bucko, in 30 seconds or less, what happened with Doug Marrone? Did he was he so smart that he outsmarted himself?
No. I've read a lot of Doug Marrone back from his Syracuse days because he was so highly spoke of, and Mike Williams, when he was a Buccaneer. I read into that whole situation. He rubs people the wrong way a lot. I heard he was an egomaniacal type of dude, like my way or the highway type of situation, and he was trying to muscle up like a Chip Kelly and get full autonomy of power, wanted this, wanted that, did not like his roster, wanted to flip the whole roster, and he and management did not agree on certain terms, so he opted out. I personally am not a fan of people quitting on their team, and I think that's what he did. And I don't think he's going to land a job anytime soon because he has burned a lot of bridges now by being an arrogant jerk. So that's what I read.
I think last week he interviewed with 5 teams, and he's still unemployed. But he's sitting on that $4 million payout, so it's not so bad. So we'll real quickly, we'll get into the picks. We'll go AFC first, and I'll say Colts, New England, 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams. Who pulls this one out?
Special teams is the only category where I'd give the nod to Indianapolis. Josh Cribbs back there running kicks, adding a dynamic, but Patriots being more disciplined on every facet and having Tom Terrific there, and Andrew Luck's tendency to throw picks in the playoffs, plus the last time that they played him, I think they ran for, Jonas Gray is still running for touchdowns right now from the last time they played. So give me New England to a tune of about 31-20. It's not a close game at all.
And I'll pose the same question, offense, defense, special teams. Green Bay traveling to you-know-where, CenturyLink, to deal with the 12s.
The 12. I have a lot of vested interest in Green Bay this year. Picked them in August. Green Bay, New England was my August pick for the Super Bowl. So I stand to cash quite well if Green Bay pulls off the upset. I just can't. My heart wants them to win, but I can't do it. If I'm making the pick today, Aaron Rodgers is limited. The offensive line is going up against their toughest defense. Special teams, it's about a wash. Offensively, wash, but defensively, Seattle has such a huge advantage. It's going to be a nail-biter, about a 21-17 contest. Seattle will repeat as conference champion.
Got you. Bucko, as you know, the Happy Hour Network is going to have a Super Bowl show on Super Bowl Sunday. Personally, I've done it, privately, but and publicly want to invite you to the show to join us, whether you can join in for just a piece or if you want to stay for the entire show, because the amount of football knowledge that you have is second to none.
Well, I surely appreciate the kind words and the invite. As we spoke before, I'm definitely game for that. I'd love to help the Happy Hour Network or whomever would have me. I love to talk ball. I'm not afraid to challenge anybody. So as long as no one has their sensitive pants on and we can talk it and you can let me fly, I'm in there like swimwear. Let's get it going, man. I'm excited.
No doubt. We just, as always, everyone is always wearing their big boy pants. So
there we go.
Bucko,
that's what I'm talking
what's
about.
the best way to get in contact with you, Bucko Bruce?
I am a Twitter loudmouth. I can be offensive, but if you want to get on there and follow me and talk with me at Bucko Bruce 83, Facebook same /Bucko Bruce 83, Gmail bucko.bruce83 at Gmail. Get at me. Let's chop it up.
One time for my boy Bucko Bruce.
Good,